We are week 6. The files you need to copy are essay question and feedback. Everything else will be copied. Alright, you have 5 minutes to sort yourself out. Yeah. Just in case someone needs paper. Okay, are we ready? Let's do 5 minutes. I don't know how long 5 minutes is, so. Is it internet? Is it you're tired? Is it everything? Ready? Everybody? Yeah? Cool. All right, let's start with feedback. Now, as always, your feedback, instead of me focusing on everything you did wrong, we are focusing on everything you did right. Why? Why do I focus on everything you did right instead of all you did wrong? Come on, this is not a hard question.
Share.
No. So, another guess. Why give you everything you've done right? I can't believe this is a difficult question. This is not a difficult question. This is the easiest question. Now, if I tell you what you did wrong, do you know how to fix it? No. Why? Because I don't teach math. There's not one answer, right? If you wrote something like 2 + 2 is 5, I'd be like, dude, that's wrong. Like, it's obviously 4, right? And then I would bring you like 4 apples and be like, here, do your additions, right? And then you know that it's wrong and that the answer is 4 because there's only one answer. There are so many answers in English that I can't tell you did something wrong. And if your teacher ever tells you you've done something wrong, you say to your teacher, no, I just wrote it badly. I can rewrite it better. Yeah, that's the answer. So that's what we're doing today. Starting with introduction. And also the second part of my reasoning is because at school, every time you get something marked, it's like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Useless, it's useless. Students learn nothing from being told that they are wrong, right? Nothing, they learn nothing. They just go, oh, look, I'm wrong again. Yay. That's it. That's all you say, right? So with that in mind, we're going to look at everything you've done right so you know how to do it better. Okay? Starting with introduction. Now, I know you guys didn't get very far, which is why when you scroll down, you will see that my body 4 and conclusion is missing. I will add that after I've read some of your complete essays. Yeah? Now, this is just taken from everything you guys have written. I've tried to write down exactly what you wrote, because some of you did it by hand. And I tried to not make any changes, because that's part of the whole thing, yeah? We're going to start with introduction. I would like Ariel and Ursula, no. I'm going to change. Okay, Ariel, you're in charge of introduction. Ursula, you're in charge of body 1, how the writer describes the unknown girl. Susanna, you can have writer's feelings, body 2, it's on page 2. And Cherry, body 3, will come to use of language. What you're going to do is improve all of those examples. There is nothing wrong with the content. Do not change the beautiful content. You're only changing grammar, maybe spelling, little things, okay? All right, off you go. I think the two of you here, Cherry and Susanna, you'll have to expand. So you'll actually have to write more.
Correct the words.
Correct the words, spelling. But the two of you have a harder one, because by that point, everybody was struggling to finish. So you will actually have to add more content. Or more analysis, if you will. Let's say like 5 minutes. Very quickly, please. I will. I haven't done anything, don't worry. Oh, you're trying to find yours. Who was intro? Ariel? Oh, also, why do you all think that the poet is Indian? Where did you get that? Almost no one, actually not, yeah, everybody thinks the poet is Indian. Why is she Indian? Where did you get that? Is it in your book? Is it your teacher? She's Pakistani. Yeah. Actually, she's half Pakistani, half British. So it's a similar culture, but definitely not Indian. Yeah.
I thought she's an Indian.
That's not an Indian name. That's why I was like, Indian? And then at first I was like, am I wrong? Then I Googled it, and then I did a whole bunch. I was like, no, it doesn't sound right. Pakistani. Pakistani and British. Yeah. I think it's it's a similar culture. So she understands it, but definitely not the same country. All right, let's start with intro. Ariel, what have you changed? Tell me the example number and just start reading the changes. Yeah, tell me the changes. Yeah, go on. Oh, no, that literary techniques is correct. Google is stupid. Literary is absolutely correct there. Okay, what else? That's fine. Just tell me what you've changed. I want to see what the main thing is. So you changed literary is still fine. Give me another one. Pakistani identity, sure. Okay. Another one. What spelling have you changed, or what have you changed any grammar or punctuation? Okay, next one.
For example, to change the sense of loss and the Indian culture to the Pakistani culture.
Yes. So it's all the India, the Pakistani. Tell me more spelling, grammar, tense, any of those. Have you changed anything like that? No? Okay, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. All right, body. Who's body one? Ursula. Right. Pick an example and tell me what you've changed.
For example one, I'm not sure if I correct it correctly. At first, it's physical description of the unknown girl, in which she has.
Yeah.
She has. I forgot. She has something. Like she has certain needs, and I add the writer makes physical description of the unknown girl.
Read me the correct sentence then.
The writer makes physical description of the unknown girl.
Makes links to the physical descriptions
of the unknown girl.
Yeah. And then?
And for example two, I'm not sure. Do we describe age as young or?
It's up to you.
I think it should be the unknown girl is also young, like to exclude the age of.
So the unknown, just the unknown girl. Okay. If you go to the original document, you will see that I'm making changes, and you can see how I'm making changes. Okay, the unknown girl is also young. Okay, what else? Example 3?
No, example 2. Oh, yeah. Quote very direct. Do I have to add it denotes?
You can simply delete from, right? If I delete from, then I just say the quote. Very definitely denotes that the known girl, sorry, that was my mistake. The unknown girl is skillful at hennaing. Okay, let's go to body 2, who is Susanna.
Example 1. Why I don't know why what's else is familiar with the unknown girl.
With the unknown girl, sure.
And she uses the article. I think it's not the instead of. I think she should say that she uses the article instead of the not the
other way around. Yeah.
To specify the girl who hang out. Making the unknown girl stays in a mysterious way.
Yeah, right. Can you write all of that down there? In my copy, not your copy. I'm going to move on from you, Susanna, to Cherry.
In example 1, the pace is very wrong.
Right, so it should be pace.
And for example 3, juxtaposition and the other side is spelled wrongly. This is spelled wrongly. It should be a.
That's right.
And in example 3, she can expand she can add some analyze. For example, for people who cling to the side of a tree, you can show the writer's determined to hold onto the newfound identity.
Right. Can you write that down in my copy, please? Perfect. Now, here, let's go back up to introduction. Sorry. Yeah. Let's start with the first one. I'm just going to very quickly do this so you guys just follow on my screen. You can see when I make the changes, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. In the unknown girl, it is an unknown girl. Guys, an unknown girl. How many times? Look at the next one. Example 2. The unknown. I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on right now? Right? An unknown girl. But when you talk about her in your essays, you will say the unknown girl. Okay? The reason she doesn't use the unknown girl in her poem is because the is specific and is not specific. It can be any girl, right? Okay. I don't know why Google doesn't think poem is a word, but poem is definitely a word. Same with literary. So just, I don't know why it's doing that. But whatever. I'm not one to fight with Google. So back to first example. In An Unknown Girl, don't need poem, that will come later. Moniza Alvi speaks, no, not speaks, writes, because Moniza Alvi is not the character, writes about, oh my God, this stupid, Monica writes, there we go, about an Indian bazaar. Yeah? Why with the unknown girl? Doesn't seem to fit. How can I change that? I like what this sentence says. I like that it makes her feel paradoxical about her Western and Pakistani identity, right? But how the with the unknown girl bit does not make any sense. Doesn't fit into this sentence. What can I say instead? What is she doing at the bazaar? Yeah, right. So she, Moniza, whatever, Alvi. I forgot writes, didn't I? Writes about an Indian bazaar where she's doing what? She is getting a henna tattoo. You cannot use the word hennaing because it's not a word. You may use the word getting henna done, getting a henna tattoo, any of those. So the word henna always can only be henna. Why? Because it's not an English word. You can't do whatever you want with it. Like all of a sudden, I'm not going to be like, I feel like siu-maying. It's not a thing. That's not a thing, right? I can eat it, but I can't change the form, right? Because I've stolen your word. Right, which makes her feel paradoxical about her Western and Pakistani identity. Perfect. Alvi has portrayed her meeting with the unknown girl by using a wide variety of descriptive and emotive language, literary and language techniques. How about we make that all very short and say something like, using a wide variety of descriptive and emotive language, and let's leave it at that. Beautiful. If you want to be more fancy, you can say such as adjectives or, I don't know, metaphors or whatever. Yeah? Pick whatever you want to write there. Just going to put X's. Okay, example 2. In the poem, An Unknown Girl, the writer presents her feeling. She has one feeling. Yes. Toward her cultural identity, and evokes a sense of loss during the meeting with the unknown girl in the neon bazaar. What's wrong with that?
Unknown air.
Unknown air, exactly. And you cannot use neon bazaar because it's a quote. No quotes in introduction. Always remember, no quotes in introduction. You can say in the bazaar or in a market, in an Indian market, that's fine, yeah? But you cannot use direct quotes. The presence of the unknown girl allows the writer to explore the Indian culture and find her roots. Cool, that's fine, I don't care. In the poem, An Unknown Girl, written, this is the only one I think where the student had used an all the time. Searching of the speaker's identity, they use this group, that's fine. Readers who like market. What's wrong with that? Markets. Markets. How can you like one market? Right? All right, other than that, fine, perfect. Body 1, how the writer describes the girl. The physical description of the unknown girl in which she is not on, that is not the quote at all. This is why. She has, satin peach. Is it knees or knee? I think it's knee. She is, or she has a satin peach knee. Full stop, because wild hennaing makes no sense. And hennaing, again, is not a word, right? Is focusing entirely on her knee. That's a beautiful analysis, and it's just been shoved off in the end like you just don't care about it. That's what happened. That whole sentence is basically perfect. In fact, those both two sentences are literally perfect. You see that word flawless there? That sentence is flawless, but putting focusly entirely on her knee at the back, like some kind of a loser, is not okay. So what can we do? How can we fix this? I want focusing entirely on her knee to be near the beginning. What can I do? May I suggest something? Begin the sentence with, okay, what do I do now? Focusing entirely on her knee. What do I write next? Comma.
The writer
Yes. Start. The writer does what?
makes physical description.
We can find a better word than makes. The writer describes it as, I don't have to have the whole quote in there, right? Now I can still something grammatically incorrect, just sounds wrong. I don't know why. Focusing entirely on her knee, the writer describes it as satin peach. There's still something missing. What's missing? Where's my verb? Suggesting what? Add the second sentence into this now.
The expertise of the owner.
That can be a thing on its own, actually. I like that one. Suggesting she is mesmerized by her flawless skill. I love that word, flawless. So Beyonce. Great. Right. This portrays the expertise of the unknown girl. Look at how small and cute that sentence is. Perfect. This portrays the expertise of the unknown girl. Beautiful. Done. Yeah? Are we getting there? Slowly but surely? Yeah? I'm going to skip through a little bit and go down to description of the place, because that was just oh my God, I have no idea what was going on there. We are not describing the girl. Remember, description of the place, you're talking about the setting. Yeah? So the enjambment, where does the enjambment happen? Only at the end? All over? Also, what is enjambment? Should be my first question. What is enjambment? no punctuation. Yeah, so you have a line, the unknown girl, no comma, no full stop, next line, right? So it's to create no pause. It's to actually speed up the pace. So the analysis is correct, but you haven't given me any evidence. Yeah. So let's think about this. The writer uses, and if you are ever beginning a sentence with enjambment, I hope to God you have talked about the writer beforehand. Yeah. So the writer uses enjambment because that's a tool. Can someone else give me an example of another tool? A screwdriver is a tool. What do I use screwdrivers for? Screw things in, right? Yeah, same thing. It's a tool because she's using something for something else, yeah? So the writer uses enjambment to do what? What do I put next? Your answer is basically there. To speed up the pace. Because, not and, she wants to stay there longer. Yeah? And now here you can use an example. The enjambment at the end of the poem. Oops. Got that wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. At the end of the poem, right? So before she's leaving the train, I'm clinging on, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm so sad, right? Is what? Most significant. Because why? Why is it so important at the end of the poem? What feeling do you get towards the end of the poem? Susanna?
The person doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, but I've already said that. She wants to stay there longer, which is basically not leave. You're on the right track. She doesn't want to leave, but she has to, yes, because even though she does not want to leave, she must. Done. Yeah? Is it making a little bit more sense? How to go about doing this, I hope. Yeah? All right, we're gonna skip again and we're gonna go to body 4, use of language, example 1, the word icing. So the word icing often appears tense, guys, tense, to be decoration of desserts, yes. The choice of diction evokes the beauty of the henna and illustrates the admiration of the writer towards the unknown girl and her skills. Beautiful. That literally is like the most perfect sentence. That's the only change. I have no other changes. I don't know who wrote that one, but that one was beautiful. Okay. The other thing I must talk to you about is every time you see the word persona here somewhere, change it to speaker. There is no such thing as I don't know who taught you persona, but I keep seeing it in some of your essays, and I'm like, speaker, the speaker of the poem. Yeah?
The speaker and the writer is something.
That's right. The speaker in the
teacher has said that the writer equals the speaker.
No. You know when you read a story and the story says, Cherry is a girl who is 16 years old. Cherry lives with her family, blah, blah, blah. Is it Cherry speaking? Who's speaking? The narrator, exactly. Even a poem will have a narrator, right? That's the only way that makes sense. Everything has a narrator, right? Now, the poem's narrator is just called the speaker. That's it. Yeah? Now, if Cherry's story that I just told went like this, I am Cherry, I am 16 years old, 15?
14.
14. Okay, I am 14 years old. What am I doing? I'm still telling a story. Am I still a narrator? Yes, just because I've used I doesn't make me the writer, right? I'm not Cherry, am I? I'm just reading Cherry's story. Yeah? So speaker in poems, narrator in longer text. Okay, let's stop all of this and go to essay question. That's the next document you need to open. This will be so much fun for me. Not so much for you. But you've all gone through the necklace at school?
No.
What? You haven't finished?
But we had to, we are going to have the test next Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We go through half of it. Not even half.
really?
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. At least you guys have read the story, right? Because I made you read it in class as well, yeah? Now, here's the thing, careful. Here's the thing to remember about short stories. Don't focus too much on simile, metaphor, all the little technical things, yeah? The reason we focus so much on enjambment, personification, word choice, simile in poetry is because there's not enough words in the poem, right? How can I can't talk about the unknown girl for 3 pages. That is just not happening, yeah? But I can talk about every single line in that poem. You cannot do that with the necklace. That is just not a thing that's happening, yeah? There's no way you will remember any of it anyway. So with the necklace, can you all read that question, yeah? How does the writer try and interest the reader in the necklace? Yeah, cool, great question. Thanks, dude. What is life is life? Wow. What life is like, sorry. Right, so the question is, how does the writer try and interest the readers? That's not a very good question, but at least you have some bullet points. So that's body 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there, yeah? What is life like for the Loisels before the reception, the night of the reception, and what happens after the loss of the necklace? And then obviously any other interesting use of language. That bit where it says interesting use of language, that's where you can put in all the little simile, metaphor, blah, blah, blah. Everything else, you're looking, what life is like. How can you describe that? What does that even mean? If I asked you what your life is like, what would you tell me?
Sad.
Sad. That's sad. Why is your life sad?
Test.
Because of tests? Yeah, okay. Why else?
Not quite sad, but
Tired.
tired. Yeah.
Okay, sad, tired, sure. Those are themes of your life. They're not what your life is like. When I tell you what your life is like, if you ask me what's my life like, immediately I'll go, talk too much, I drink too much coffee, but I won't tell you like you said, I'll say, oh, I'm quite happy today, oh, I'm a bit grumpy, but I'm not going to tell you I woke up at 9, I had breakfast at 9:30. Why would I do that? Is that interesting to you? No, that's not interesting to anyone, right? So that first question is the theme. That first bullet point, sorry. So you're telling me the theme, what life was like for them, which means they were poor, sad, and what was the lady like? There's a difference between those two, right? The husband. They're both sad and poor. Now let's go on to the husband. Describe the husband for me. What's he like? Optimistic, actually, yeah, it's quite sad. Okay, what's the woman like, the wife, Loisel?
It's not satisfied. It's not satisfied with her life.
Is not satisfied with her life, yes, absolutely. Right, now these are all their overall meaning, right? So that's the theme. Now, go another one down, the night of the reception. How would you describe when they finally go to the party? What was life like then? How did she feel?
Mademoiselle feels like she belongs to the upper class.
Yes, she was happy. She was finally happy, right? She was finally satisfied with her life. Yeah. How about the husband? How did he feel? Yeah, exactly, right? He's just like, oh my God, what is my life, right? He's going, why am I doing this to myself? My wife is crazy, basically, is what he should have said. But anyway, those are also themes. Yeah, so you've got sad, you've got poor, and then suddenly satisfied. Something is not right. Yeah, that means there's something happening. We know something is happening. And then you get to the third bullet point. What happens after the loss of the necklace? What happens? Are they happy? Are they sad and poor? They're sadder and poorer. Right? So it goes like this. So actually, they're not up high. Let me use a paper. Let me use a different paper. Okay, this is my graph, like baseline. Yeah, they're here, sad and poor. Oh my God, I'm so happy, party, woo, 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 woo. And now they're here. They're not even on the paper. They're nowhere. They're just like, oh my God, I'm so poor. I hate myself. I hate everything. That's what they're doing, right? Why are they poor?
Because they have to pay for the necklace.
Yes, because she lost the damn necklace. Exactly, right? Now, when I first read the story years ago, I was like, what? She's an idiot, right? But we have to somehow be like, oh my God, it's so sad. I feel so bad for you. I don't feel bad for her. I don't care, right? So in your exam, you don't need to be like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for the wife. I don't feel sorry. I feel sorry for the husband, the poor guy, right? Let me tell you, when you guys grow up and get boyfriends, if your boyfriend ever makes you pay for something that you don't want to, just be like, no, go away, it's my money. Immediately, just no, right? Who would, no way, hell no. Okay, that's what we're talking about, themes, right? Every time you see the name of a character, you have to write about characterization. So when you get a short story or a prose, you're going to write about themes, characterization. What's the next one? Is a third. Starts with a P. Plot. Plot, yes. So what happens in the beginning, what happens in the middle, and what happens at the end? How do I know that you have to write about plot? It doesn't say anywhere. What are the first 3 bullet points? Before, during, and after. What does that sound like to you? Beginning, middle, and end, which is plot. Yes? Does that make sense? So read the question. Before you even begin reading your text, you must always read the question. Yeah? Okay. The table thing, I promise I will again fill in as I usually do, but scroll down and there's some more surprises for you. So Ariel, you are once again in charge of the introduction, but this time she has the least work because I have done the work for you. You just have to write it out. Okay? Right. Ursula, you are body 1, which is structure and any other use of language. Now, I contemplated giving this one to Cherry. I've gone through a little thing where I was like, Cherry or Ursula, Cherry or Ursula, Cherry, right? The only reason I'm being nice to Ariel is because she's new, so she, so you enjoy for the time being, yeah? So Ursula, structure will be unbelievably difficult, but I've given you something to start with. How do you say that word? I'm going to highlight it in blue. If you go to Ursula's sad table, I don't know why her table is orange, but it is. I've highlighted the word in yellow. How do you say that word? Close. Omniscient. Omniscient, yeah. What is omniscient? All powerful, godlike. That's right. I'm guessing you did this in class. Yeah? Yeah. Why? What is the, there are 3 types of narratives. This is the 3rd type. What's the first 2? That's right. Yeah. First and second person. That's the first 2. Yeah. What are the features of first person narratives? Not third. I'm not talking about third. How would I write in first person narrative? I. So what are some features? of first person narrative if I'm writing with I? Some traits, characteristics. What is the personality of first person narratives?
I feel like it's a personal experience.
I guess, yeah. Sometimes. Maybe for the taking on the something lady, crazy mountain climbing people in your anthology. First person narrative is biased. Why is it biased? Because it's I. I saw Ariel touch her chin with her hand. She's not touching her chin. She's not touching her chin even close to her chin. That's why I'm biased. Yeah. I saw, I don't know, Susanna stealing from Cherry. Is she actually stealing from Cherry? No. I'm a biased narrator, right? Second person. What second person? You. Why? What's wrong with second person? Too direct. There's no characters involved. Who's you? Me. It's me. I feel like I'm reading a story about myself. I don't want to. No one wants to do that. You will never read a story with second person narrative. It's very rare. And if they do it, they're usually French or something. So, right. First and third person is what you have in all of your anthologies, I think. Yes. First and third person is what you have in all of your anthologies. So don't really worry about second person. The third person narrative, yeah, it's sort of like a godlike, know everything narrator. But what is the downside? What is the disadvantage? Do we know anything about the narrator? No, this narrator is a total stranger to us. We don't connect with the narrator. We just almost connect with the characters, but not even that much. Yeah. So that each narrative will have its benefits and disadvantages, which you have to also write about. So Ursula, if you need help with that later on, please ask. Right, Cherry. So you are doing plot and theme. You're doing the beginning plot, not the middle and during, yeah? Remember, before the reception. That should be okay for you, I think. Jenny is not here, so I will do that one. Susanna, what happens after the loss of necklace? Which means you have the super difficult one. Yeah, this is the worst one. This is by far the worst one because you have to do theme, you have to do irony, you have to do plot. Like you have to do almost the full plot, but mostly focus on the end. Yeah, so this one will be the most difficult, unfortunately. Cool? So, and I have not given you any help with that. I've only written down irony, as you can see. So if you need help with that, just come and ask, yeah? Ariel, you're also doing the conclusion. So what I will get you guys to do is I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to write notes in the table and then start writing your part underneath the table. I want beautiful grammar, full sentences, but please write down a plan. The middle bit is just for you to write down some quotes, blah, 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 that kind of thing. If you need help with analysis or what to say or if the quote is okay, just ask, yeah? The more you ask me, the more I can help you because I cannot yet read your minds, but one day. With robots, it will happen. Right, off we go. You have 10 minutes. A linking sentence is a sentence that you link back to your question. So a linking sentence is something like, let's take Ursula's structure. The structure of the story helps the readers be interested in the necklace because blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I literally take the words from the question. Now, what I would actually say is, oh yeah, sorry. The other thing is you all have word counts. So Ariel, your intro is 100 words and your conclusion is 100 words, max. For sure. Everybody else is 200 words maximum.
As the structure to be the exposition, rising action, something like that.
Yeah, sure. It's a fancy word. I also mean that what it looks like, the actual structure. Remember, there's two types of structure. Oh, don't use that word triads. So sad. Oh yeah, if you can all do the writing and everything on my copy, so I can see what you're doing, that'd be great. You can also do it by hand if you want.
I want to ask where is the SH of the necklace? Which folder is it in?
It should be in week 6 unless someone has stolen it, which is in,
Passage.
yes, the passage. Not in week 6? No, it is not in week 6. All right, let me see who's stolen it. Hold on.
Or in week 5. Oh, remember.
Who's got it?
Ah, it was Susanna. The thief. Okay, let me move it. I've made you a copy, Susanna, not to worry. Okay, week 6, yes, move here. Okay. Cool. Now, if you also have questions on the passage, please ask. Okay, I like the power of 3 and I like symbolism. Now go on to structure. Where are you writing your thing, Cherry? Oh, okay. It's fine, don't worry. It's a good question. Now, let's look at the structure, shall we? Look at some of the sentences, yeah? Let's pick a random sentence. Actually, let's pick that power of 3 sentence. Where did you find that one? You can give me a line number or...
Line 33.
Okay, line 33. Let's look at that whole paragraph. Yeah, she had no fine dresses, no jewelry, nothing. All that she cared about, and that was all she cared about. She felt that God had made her for such things. She would have given anything to be popular, envied, attractive, and in demand. It's almost like she wants to be meat or something. In demand, like not fruit. Anyway, what is it about that paragraph that's interesting? If you compare it to the paragraph before it.
Short.
Yeah, short. Why? What is she doing in the paragraph before it?
Dreaming.
Dreaming about
Her.
luxury that she could have, right? Look at the difference between her dreaming, the way he writes about her dreaming, and her real life. Her real life is so simple. Look at the structure, of the sentences itself, right? There are no fancy words in line 33 to 35. There's nothing. Everything you in fact understand all of that paragraph. And it's easy for you to understand that paragraph, right? Because it's so simple, because her reality is just nothing. She's got very little, right? She can only be descriptive if she had things. How can you describe a fine dress if you've never owned a fine dress? How can you describe jewelry if you've never owned that much jewelry? Right? So that's the difference. The difference is in the simplification of the language. When he is being more direct, more realistic, he will write in very simple sentences. When he's talking about these big philosophical issues and her dreaming and her wandering off or whatever, complaining basically, all of a sudden the sentences get longer. Yeah? Same with the paragraph right after it. That's her reality. She had a friend who was rich, right? Very simple sentence. All right, who am I looking at? Oh, I like this. Symbolizes vanity, has only one eye. Now, you know what I'm suggesting, and it gives the little comment saying delete this, add space. Just click on the tick so it resolves the comment. Otherwise, it will stay there forever. Okay, are we done? How much more time? 5 minutes? Okay.
真係 complete 啲咩啊？咩啊？真係我 complete 啲乜嘢？
有啦，就
他要寫段嘢出嚟㗎，真㗎？Oh my！你寫咗佢你咪黐翻埋佢咯。OK，好定嘅 OK。但點解數唔上？
唔使數佢講，佢都唔數㗎啦。你寫咗幾多咪寫幾多，好眼瞓啊！黐線。 Edexcel。然后 delete 幾個字同埋 delete 咗好多。
係啊，係啊。
即係佢好多期望，跟住你就冇咁嘅成項咗咯。
即係你個藍色嘅應該喺下面添咯。佢唔喺度打，就佢會喺度咯。
All right, let's go.
No.
I guess I'll do my part. Okay, that is the end of that. Don't worry, I mean, if you want to do the essay so bad, you can do it for homework, which is exactly what your homework is, yay! Okay, now let's start with, where we start, oh yes, Ariel. Okay, now can everybody look at Ariel's bit here? Now, I know I've confused you with the whole themes and the plot and blah, blah, blah. I understand, right? Try your best with it. Okay, in the necklace, the master of the story, yeah, cool, of the short story, would be better, Guy de Maupassant writes an ironic story with a twisting end, I think twist is fine. With a twist ending, you can say, twist ending, about a middle-class couple struggling in the strict society, yes, of the 19th century in France. You can say about a French middle-class couple or something, or a middle-class French couple, you know, instead of having France at the end, yeah? Let's do that, middle-class French couple. And then you don't have to have, oh, I forgot the E. Yeah? In this short story, the most dramatic action, yeah, correct, that's it, yeah, happens at the end of the story, and the third person narrative successfully highlights the themes, including the themes, you can say of, the themes of pride, social hierarchy, honesty, and the difference between reality and fantasy, yeah? Simple. Perfect. Right, Ursula. In the necklace, a third-person narrative is used throughout the text, but you haven't told me about the other language features in your topic sentence. It allows the writer to be an omniscient narrator. You can say the omniscient narrator. You can start the sentence with the omniscient narrator. So the omniscient narrator knows everything about the plot and the characters, which makes the story more fairy tale-like. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. The power of three and short sentences are used in the line, she had no dresses, jewels, nothing. This illustrates, ooh, I lost it. Oh, this illustrates the simplicity of her life, that she has nothing, and impactfully underlines the fact that Even though she is gorgeous, she possesses nothing. Cool. Moreover, symbolism is used throughout the text with the most significant example being. With the most significant example being the fake necklace. It symbolizes all, yeah, you're going on from that, that's fine. Okay, Cherry. Before the reception, Monsieur and Madame are in poverty as they are middle class. Yes, you can add the context there, as they are, oh, why did I remove that? Middle class in the 19th century, yeah? You have to use it. Monsieur just means Mr. So always have their last.
This is the husband.
Yes, Monsieur. Oh, you meant Madam.
Yes,
Okay.
Switched the names.
Always use their full name, yeah? Because Madam is just Miss, Monsieur is Mr. That's it, yeah? So she's the daughter of a civil servant, not a other servant, of a civil servant, while Monsieur, yeah? Oh my God, I cannot find my, there we go. Is only a clerk, suggesting he earns a low income. Yes, perfect. Why is that? What are you doing? There we go. They have to stay in poor living environments. Yes, in the phrase, the peeling walls, blah, 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 shows, you don't need it, shows that the apartment is old and worn out. Good. The couple uses a 3-day-old cloth for meals, maybe meals. Yeah, for meals, meaning that it is dirty and haven't. How many cloths are there? Hasn't, yes, has not, in fact. Has not been changed for ages, yes. This attracts the reader's attention. Perfect. This is the first one where someone is mentioning the readers. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Always go back to the reader. Making them feel disgusted, but also, what else? Disgusted, but?
Shocked.
Sympathetic. Yeah, you can say shocked. Disgusted, I like shocked. Shocked and sympathetic. Yeah. Moreover, they have very simple clothing, as Monsieur has no dresses. Oh, you meant Madam. Yeah. Had no dresses, jewelry, conveying that the couple cannot afford buying luxurious and high-class goods. Yes, there was an extra the. Because they are expensive. You don't need that bit. That sentence on its own is perfect. Yeah? All right. Perfect. Susan. Wait. First, let me do this one. Okay. Now, do you see what I have written already? Which is nothing. I've written nothing. That's what I've done. Instead, what I have done is I have given you all the things that you could be writing about. Okay, so you should be writing about the simple sentences. I put the line number, L is line. Listing adjectives, listing adverbs, long sentences, all the men looked at her, and humor. That's my middle bit. Yeah, I don't have to have that many. It's just that's not doing anything. So that's why I have so many. Yeah. How do I write up? Why did I put all the men looked at her? What is it about all the men looked at her? That's my favorite quote. Care about her. What is it about the act? Like why does she want the men to look at her? Why does she want people to look at her? Yeah, it's her whole thing is attention. What does she want from other people? She wants their attention. She wants them to go, oh, you look so beautiful. You look so, that's what she wants to hear, right? Remember at the beginning of the story, she's like, oh, she was so pretty, but no one would marry her because she's poor. That's so sad, right? Yeah, so all her life, she's wanted these high-class, fancy men to look at her and be like, wow, she's beautiful. And that's what it's finally happening for her, right? So her desire for attention is happening. Now, do you see a problem with this sentence? All the men looked at her. I don't mean like a grammatical problem. I mean an emotional problem. What is the emotional problem? All the men looked at her.
Like that urge come true.
Yeah, but I'm looking for an emotional problem. That's not really a problem. So what is the problem? Ariel?
We don't know why the man looked at her.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously like, oh, so beautiful. The problem is that she wants that kind of attention. Her desire, do you see how materialistic this is? I want to look beautiful. I want to spend all this money so people can look at me and go, wow. Is that something that's valuable? No, right? So that's the, do you see how simple that, what is the moral of the story? Ariel's done this one. What's the moral of the story, Ariel?
Pride,
Mhm.
dignity, honesty, social
Hierarchy, yeah.
hierarchy, fantasy, and reality.
Mm-hmm. I remember you wrote down some other moral of the story. Appearances may be deceptive. Yeah? That's the moral of the story, right? That the way you look can be not true, basically, right? So whatever you're showing on the outside is not actually what's happening on the inside. Because in the inside, she's still poor, right? She still has to go back home to her poor flat with the dirty cloth and all of that, right? So there's no truth in this. And the other problem with the men looking at her is that the men just look at her and think, oh, she's so beautiful. Okay, cool, that's nice, that's nice. And then what? What happens? Nothing happens. So I've given you attention. You are pleased, you're happy for 4 hours. Then you go home and you cry. Is there a point? No, there's no point, right? So that sentence, all the men looked at her, is perfect for all of the themes. So you definitely must analyze that sentence, yeah? Humor, because the men are sleeping while the wives are enjoying. So that's just humor. All right, Susanna, my goodness. Okay. This, the event happens after the loss of the necklace is iron. No. No. Irony happens after the, okay, we'll fix it in a second, hold on. Due to the loss of the necklace, the couple have to suffer from poverty since they have to pay for the necklace. Yes, yes, yes. It is expensive and equals all the money that they have saved their entire lives, correct. Therefore, she needs to start working instead of being a housewife, while her husband also needs to work in the day and night to earn more. This life remains for 10 years. The ending turns out to be ironic because, or since, Joanne, the one who lent the necklace, tells Mathilde that the necklace she lent her is fake. Necklace, comma. Yes, this is ironic. Since the couple worked very hard and suffered for 10 years, which leads to a change in life and career, blah, 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 blah. The events happen and the ending creates the interest to the reader since the ending is ironic. And it surprises the reader since the necklace is fake, which does not deserve, yes, exactly. But there's some, let's talk about irony. What is irony? And you don't need this last sentence. That the one before it is perfect. Yeah, the event happens, the events happen and the blah, 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 perfect. Yeah? The events happen and the ending creates, good. Why? I have 3 minutes left. Unbelievable, these construction people. Okay. Right. What is irony? I'm sure you do this in class. So just no. No. Sarcasm is me going. Huh? Put it into Google. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what irony is. Yeah? Irony is thinking something is going to happen and then something else happening or not happening. Yeah? I know. Right? That's exactly what irony is. Now, the reason irony is so difficult to talk about is because it's obvious. By the time it happens, it's very obvious. So what you're doing, so if you look at what Susanna has done, right? And I'm sure she's like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. That's fine. But if you look at what Susanna has done, she's explaining every single part of the irony. Imagine irony to be almost like the plot. An irony will have a beginning, middle, and end. That's exactly what she's done. She's told me where it started. So it started because she borrowed that necklace that was fake. She told me the middle part, which is when she lost the necklace, and then she had to work hard and be even poorer than before, right? And then she told me the end, which is that it was fake all along, right? So she's described every part of the irony. That's exactly what you have to do. You can't just say, this is irony. That doesn't do anything for me. I have to see that you understand what irony is, right? So you must tell me there are some features like irony where you have to describe much more than other features. That's why I said to her, your focus on this one is irony. Yeah? Okay, I will fix your smaller errors later on, don't worry. All right, in conclusion, Maupassant, is that how his name is spelled? That doesn't look right. Check the spelling there, Ariel. Illustrates the necklace with various roles to play, which influences feelings of the readers from time to time. You don't need from time to time. Readers is fine. Don't be so unsure of yourself. And also links up the entire passage, bringing both the climax and the downfall of the Loisels together. Perfect. It also has different meanings towards different characters. For instance, the necklace symbolizes vanity. There's no I, just V-A-N. While the necklace symbolizes wealth for, oh yeah, okay. But is it actually wealth? Think about that one. There's a word you can put in front of wealth. For Madame Foster, and denotes the main themes of the story, which are pride, blah, blah, blah. Exactly, that's perfect, that's done. Yep, all right. All of your homeworks is this essay. But it'd be nice if you can steal each other's quotes, you can do whatever you want, steal what the other person has written. Today when I go home, I'll do some of the smaller changes, because sometimes you guys forget your tense. But you only forget the tense when you're rushing, so that's great. Yeah? And yeah, you're done. Ooh, do you have any questions, first of all? Yes.
What is foreshadowing?
What is foreshadowing? That's a very good question. Foreshadowing, where did you read about foreshadowing? Okay, show me where is foreshadowing. It will be at the beginning, I'm guessing.
Not beginning. No, our teacher told us to quote us in
It wasn't me that sold the actual necklace. I only supplied the case.
The shopkeeper.
Yeah, when they buy.
Yeah. I mean, okay, here's my, okay. It can be foreshadowing, but I don't think so.
Is there other examples in the passage showing foreshadowing?
You know, I think so. Let's go to the beginning. Okay. No. No, I'll think about it again, but I don't think so.
But can you just?
Yes, I'll tell you what foreshadowing is, and I'll tell you why I think your teacher thinks that's foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is when the writer will put in a little clue as to what will happen at the end of the story. Yeah, that's all there's no big thing about foreshadowing. There's no way to spot it. You can only sort of guess almost, right? It's when the writer will put something like, I only supplied the case, and then you think, why would he not know who sold that necklace, right? Like he's like the distributor or something, right? He looked through his order book. It wasn't me that sold the actual necklace. I only supplied the case. So like the box that it came in, right? So the reason I think he thinks it's foreshadowing is because then you go, oh, they only bought the box. Madame Frostier didn't even buy the necklace. She just bought the box, right? And that's foreshadowing. Yeah, you can still, you can say that it's foreshadowing. I only supplied the case. You can still argue that it's foreshadowing, as long as you tell me why you think that's foreshadowing. Does that make sense? So your answer won't be wrong. It just means you'll have to explain quite a bit, right? But
Is it the tree device?
oh yeah. In a play that I'm reading, right? In the play, it said to the first thing was this guy talking about how the story we are reading will end in a bloody course. That's the exact word, bloody course. Yeah. At the end of the story, there's blood everywhere. That's foreshadowing. At the beginning of the story, he says the word blood, but in a different way, to describe the story, and at the end of the story there is blood. So that's foreshadowing, because those two things link together, and it's very clear, the link, because the link is with the same word, blood. Does that make sense? Yeah. In this case, that's why I'm not sure that this will count. You definitely can, as long as you describe it, you'll definitely get the mark.
But also,
Yeah.
emotive language, I'm not sure about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is it must be adjectives or
Can be anything.